Welcome along to this afternoon's EVES Whangarei auction. Certainly a real pleasure to be here working alongside the good team from EVES in Whangarei, and a number of introductions around the room before we do begin here this afternoon. Of course, representing our management team in this part of the world, Nikki, Tracy, welcome into you. Thank you for your assistance, for your attendance here today. The two most important people in the room I have on my right hand side, of course, Tash and Robin, in charge of that all-important technology, inscribing those bids as well, making sure that you can clearly see the photos of the properties on the screen to my right hand side, but also displaying to you the level of the highest bid. Now that will be at the top right hand side of the screen, I do believe. So if at any point today you are lost as to where that bid level is at, please do look in that direction, and that should see you right. Alternatively, please do feel free to interrupt me. We don't want any confusion as to who or what that holding that highest bid is. George Yeoman is my name, here in the capacity as your auctioneer this afternoon, hopefully guiding you along in your journey towards ownership. Now today's auctions, they will be held in accordance with that REINZ auction best practice guide and our EVES auction policy. So it's through to that conduct of auction that I would direct your attention briefly now before we begin. Essentially today's terms of engagement. Now look, it'll come as no surprise to you that we do offer the properties, both of them indeed, for sale with those confidential reserve prices. Now quite simply, as the bidders, your job is to reach those prices, after which point I'm then permitted to sell the property away to the highest bidder among you, at which point we'll then ask you to sign your name on that documentation the relevant team would have provided to you, and pay that deposit. That's a neat and easy 10% of that purchase price, unless you're working to other written arrangements there. Now, I'm not aware of parties who are choosing to submit their bids through the telephone, but rest assured, if any such bid is placed in that fashion, that all the necessary, all the relevant documentation to allow it to be collected as so, well, that would have been taken care of. And that gives you here in room, of course, the confidence and the genuine nature behind each and every one of those telephone bids. Again, I'll make that nice and clear for you as well when indeed we do get one of those telephone bids. Now, throughout the course of the auctions, throughout the course of the bidding, I have also been granted several rights. I may refuse bids, I may nominate that increment by which the bidding can be raised, and I may also place bids here this afternoon on behalf of our owners. This is what we commonly refer to as a vendor bid. It only ever occurs well below that reserve price. We clearly identified to you rather unambiguously through the term vendor bid, so there won't be any confusion there. That's just a very clear demonstration of where the property will most definitely not be sold. Now, owners have also reserved the right to withdraw the properties before they are sold, and are doing so without having declared them. Having met with all of our owners, though, I can assure you their intention is very much to get the property sold here this afternoon on that cash and unconditional basis on which all bids are accepted. Look, should there be any disputed bids in that unlikely event, well, I didn't bring my boxing gloves, so we just go back to that last undisputed level, and then we can move on from there. But guys, it is through to the first of our two offerings for your consideration, more importantly competition, excuse me, that I do direct your attention here at number 1285 Pipiwai Road, brought to the market, of course, by Jaden King. Welcome into you, Jaden, of course, to your vendors and those interested parties, both joining us here in room and online as well. Welcome into one and to all. Now formally described as an estate in freehold bars, it's spread over that sizable 2,822 square metres, more or less, known as Lot 1. That's on deposit of Plan 82813. Now, vacant possession, of course, that is offered to you as per that settlement date noted down. Loving what you're doing here, though. Certainly only 3 weeks that you do have to wait here. That charming countryside, 1930s college, excuse me, that you do get to enjoy here. Certainly located in that highly desirable location, whether it's the access to the schooling, but it is, of course, that locality, the immediate locality, the surrounding, that does ensure such peace and privacy and safety and security offered up in absolute spades for you as well. For those with the clever eye, still space to renovate and update as you see fit, or simply move in and enjoy what has been very much loved home by our owners here as well. But those estate and park-like grounds certainly provide plentiful space for you to enjoy, for you to grow as the family perhaps as well. And there we can see, neat as a pin, cute as a button, bidders and buyers, it is here to be sold, and that is far more than enough from me. I simply put myself in your hands and give you the opportunity to dictate value here this afternoon. What's the figure to own it? Where would you like to begin? I look for open bids, opening offers to start.
540.
540,000. Thank you very much, sir. I'm happy to start it away at 540,000. The best of luck to you here at 540,000. The bid the offer buys. I might suggest $20,000 the next logical increment here. 560, the next place to be. Don't let me limit you though. Very accessible at these early levels, but on the left-hand side of the room here, I bid it away at 540,000 for the want of it near 20,000 more and 60 with you. Good move, sir, and welcome in on the left-hand side as well. 80 would then be the response, the retort at this early stage. But at 560,000, 2 in the race, gives you bundles of confidence. Always buy what someone else wants, sir. At 560 on the left-hand side, he's running your housewarming first call. And 80, obligingly bid straight to the 600 then immediately now with confidence. That would be my suggestion to you. But at 580,000, the bids are principally against you. And 6, at 600,000, obligingly bid. At 600, 000, staying in the 20s, can I say? 620 would be your turn, but at 600,000 on that first call, I make no delay at this early level, twice, and 620, 40 straight back, should be no hesitation, and impeccably bid at 640,000 off at 660. But the leading bid, as we say, on the first call against you here at 640,000 offered. Quickly now, twice, and 660.
Sorry, I've got a gotch.
At 660,000, don't you worry, I've got the number in my head here. It's seated with my first bidder. Technology playing its role, as per usual. At 660,000, sir, are we sure? Are you all set, all done?
All done.
Even for another 10?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have cleared strategy, so I can on the auction room floor. So how about 5,000 more at this stage to put you in front? Very hard to value that closely. At 660,000, the bid the offer seated on that first call. We absolutely sure, sir. Twice at 660,000, the third and final call. Well, great news for you, sir. Remember, if I don't see anything further, I sell the property away. We are on the market at 660,000 for the want of a better offer. Quickly now, out the door it goes. Down the middle here with my starter. First time. No second chances, no late bids accepted. Twice at 660,000 bid. Third, final call. It is going at $660,000. It is going, that figure now. It is going, and it is. Sir, man, congratulations. Problem solved. We're moving along now to our second lot here in today's order of sale at number 8, Balmacewen Drive in Karma. Of course, welcoming in Richard Lyon, who's been working alongside you here. Richard at the back there, and welcome in to you, to all those interested parties, both here and online as well. Offered up again is that estate and freehold, some 623 square metres, more or less offered to you. Lot number 127, that's on deposit plan 199,868 there as well. Now, vacant possession afforded to you on the 18th of July. I note that that might vary from some copies of the contract in circulation, but the 18th of July, that has been noted down as your settlement date there. But loving what you're doing here at come mid-July there. Of course, you've got that spacious and modern family home for you as well, and still been installed all those contemporary creature comforts for you there as well. Generously proportioned bedrooms ensure that utter livability for you as well. The master bedroom, of course, equipped with that ensuite as well. Right throughout the warmer months, the cooler months, you are catered for, be it the heat pump and the HRV system, making sure you have that year-round comfort for you as well. The covered outdoor area, though, extending, of course, to you those city views as well. Perfect for hosting the barbecues, entertaining an absolute breeze, plenty of positions from which to enjoy that morning coffee, or perhaps if you're more like me, the afternoon gin and tonic there as well. But bidders and buyers all wrapped up, as we say, in that enviable locale close to Tikipunga, and of course those Carmel amenities as well, be it the shopping, the dining, the parks, the recreational activities. You're certainly not at a loss as to how to fill the weekend. But bidders, buyers, for the final time today, I put myself in your hands and I look for an opening bidder offer to start me away. What's the figure to be to earn it? Where would you like to begin? Buyers, I would point out there is no lot number 3. Something fair, something reasonable perhaps, it's usually what I suggest. Or perhaps if it's unfair and unreasonable, I'm still interested, you just let me know. No such thing as a wrong opening bid. I will say though, I am aware of a long list of parties outside the room desperately hoping that this property does not sell, and certainly does not in my intention to keep you waiting any longer than is absolutely necessary. Richard will be going to have those conversations post-haste. If I don't see an opening bidder offer here, I'll count it down, I'll call it away, I'll give you those 3 opportunities before we go down that aforementioned route. On that first call, here on notice on warning buyers, click here now, twice, third and final call. Well, Richard, I do take rejection quite personally, but it would seem they would rather speak to you for me, and quite frankly, who can blame them? I'll put the property back in your hands. I look forward to hearing and seeing a sold sticker outside very shortly. All the very best to you and our owners in those continued endeavours. And that concludes this afternoon's auctions. Thank you very much for coming along. We look forward to seeing you at the next EVES auction day very shortly. Have a lovely afternoon.